All right, we're here. Now, we're actually going to talk about Agatha All Along. Now, I put this off for a while. Did you watch it like right after it came out?
Mm, Not right after, because I waited a little bit because I was busy and I was watching other stuff. I think I started when they dropped episode 4 or 5 because I
Okay.
binged. Me and Lindsay binged like the first 4 episodes, and it was great. I loved it.
When did you realize that you loved this show? Like, did you know right
When
away as you were watching, or did it take a few
I
episodes?
think by episode 2, whenever they sang the Witch's Road song, is like when I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And they kept singing it, and I loved it every single time.
Yeah, it slowly kind of progressed and progressed. I was thinking about it, and like when the show first started, I was kind of confused because I'm like, why is she in this cop fantasy show? But then I was thinking back to the end of WandaVision, and she did trap her into that town, but it's like, well, Wanda's not there anymore doing this. So I was confused by that. And then episode 2 happened, and the kid came in, and then you eventually find out they break out of the spell, and then episode 3, she's looking for the coven. Um, we're gonna go fully into spoilers here. So, I will say through watching it, it didn't really grab me until you maybe episode 4 or 5, when you start to realize things are afoot and it's not all that it
Seems
seems, because all of these witches are in there, and at first it came off kinda corny for like, "Oh my god, we really gotta have this fancy witches trial where they're all drinking wine and dressed nicely, and it's all super modern." I'm like, "This doesn't seem like a witch trial," but that's kind of built into the show, and even Agatha, when you're watching it, it's like she's overacting and super corny and, "Yeah, of course, I'm the evil witch, yeah." But that all comes out after you find out the little secret, so
right.
you
So,
you have anything else to say before we spoil it, I guess?
well, all right. Let's jump back to the beginning though, like the cop thing. So I did remember that because that Wanda like put a spell on her, and but
Yeah,
it did throw me for a loop. My thought was I didn't even think that she was just hallucinating everything. My thought was like she got sent to. I thought like her
like
mind got
purgatory?
scrambled. No, like she like I thought her mind got scrambled, and then not like a different reality, but like she just like completely like a new identity kind of thing. So
Yeah,
I was figuring that Agatha
a
just
second
didn't
chance at life.
yeah, she's like, I'm gonna punish you by just like giving you a new life, like not that she was running
Yeah.
around. And I loved how they did that after they broke the spell and they kind of rewound and like showed what actually happened and
Yeah.
stuff. Um,
It was so clever the way that they did it, and she's like, you see her, she's talking to her neighbor, she's like, "Ah," you know, well, we can't really say anything,
yeah,
so I guess, should we go ahead and spoil what happens?
yeah.
So, she's been living in this town, totally brainwashed,
The same
and
town from WandaVision. It's the
yeah,
same town. She's still in the town. So everyone's like thinking that she's still under the effects of the spell. Everyone feels pity for her. And everyone just kind of plays along with her delusion.
everyone else is totally fine, but
Yep.
you come to find out this kid did all of this, and this kid is Wanda's child. And when they revealed that, like, I went through the whole first part of the show thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be her kid, isn't it? This is gonna be Agatha's kid." I knew it for sure because I'm
Oh,
like, Disney is not that good at writing stuff anymore. This is gonna be Agatha's son that she, like,
oh,
sacrificed. Oh my god, and then you
really?
find out it wasn't. Yeah, I thought
You,
for
I
sure.
I
I
called
thought
it.
that
I
was my
called it like episode 1. I was like, that's. I go, that has to be Billy. Like that has to be Wanda's son.
They
I go,
totally fooled me. I had no expectation of any kind of good story coming out of this. Just with everything else they've been doing lately, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be her son, Nikki, that they mentioned it in the first episode. I wasn't even thinking it was, Billy coming back, right?
so
Yeah.
I
No, Tommy. No, it was Billy, yeah. William, Billy, yeah.
yeah, Hex
So
or Wiccan.
Yeah,
Um,
they revealed that, and I was like, "Whoa, I never saw that coming." You see the kid die, and his heartbeat stops, and then he gets, like, infused into the body. I'm like, "What?
yeah,
That's really
'cause you
clever." That was a really cool thing.
yeah,
I don't
'cause
know if
he
that's how it
it
happened in the comics, but
um, I can't remember how it happens in the I never read them, so I don't know. But, like, I thought it was great. He saw it just and it wasn't, like, and you could have been like, "Well, how convenient someone died right
yeah.
there." Like, but, like, he searched for the nearest death. Like, he just went for whoever was close, whoever died, bam, in, and stuff.
Well,
Um,
they kind of plant that seed at the end of the show where they're talking like, "Yeah, but did he just kill them? Like, did he make that kid die so that he could take the body?" He basically killed the whole coven. It's like he doesn't know his powers. He made it happen. It was his will. Maybe that was
I
some of
don't
Wanda's magic making it.
I don't think he killed him, and because when they were looking for his brother's body, like, jumped towards the end of the thing, she's like, "You're not killing this kid. This kid was going to die. You're just finding
Yeah,
someone who is going to die," kind of
dude.
thing.
That scene was rough too, where you see the kid drowning, and it's like
Yeah.
everything that happened after you find out about Billy being in the show, I felt like it got so much better because then from that point on, I'm like, "Oh, none of this like, this is all existing because of him," and then you find that out at the end of the show where it's like, yeah, he did manipulate her. She knew that she was being manipulated. That's why she was overacting. That's why she
Right.
was corny. That's why she's like, "Oh, the witch's road. Alright, yeah." And then you see it at the very end where she's going back through her whole tale of how she just used that to
Yeah.
scam all these witches for their power. Like, wow, that was really good. It was
It
a
was
great show.
and I wonder, like, if people like, maybe if, like, the executives kinda just backed off or something where, like, I feel like a lot of these Marvel shows now and movies is, like, maybe too many people are, like, sticking fingers in pies and pies and fingers and stuff where, like, too much input and they're trying to do too much, and, like, if you just, like, back off, let someone with, like, an idea because, like,
That's how
Loki
this felt, yeah.
yeah, Loki, out of this world, amazing, loved it. Oh, loved every season of Loki. I don't They don't need to do another season. I would like another season. They don't need to. I thought they did great.
Yeah.
WandaVision, beautiful. I thought it's probably one of my favorite, like, Marvel shows. Just a clean story, you can tie it in a little bit with everything else, but make sure, like, the story itself is an actual story. It has a beginning and an end. Because I feel like for, like, a lot of the other ones, they were like they're using these TV shows to launch something else, and, like,
Yeah.
that's what you shouldn't be doing that. It should be its own contained story. Make the story good so that people want more of it.
Yeah, because like, a character like Wiccan, it's like, okay, maybe, one day in the future when we have another Scarlet Witch movie or she's a part of the Avengers, maybe we get a reuniting thing, but nobody's asking for him to get his own movie. So this
Mhm.
is the perfect way to do that. You did it in a show with Agatha All Along. We're gonna get Tommy later somehow, some way. That's gonna be cool. But it's like what you mentioned earlier in our Dragon Ball discussion video. They need to scale it all back. They went too big, too grandiose. So then
Yeah.
you do all this stuff like WandaVision where she's warping reality, and then this show is scaling back on all that where it's like, okay, none of these characters even have their powers anymore. They're depowered and they're going through this small story, and it worked really good.
Alright. I, God, like another thing too. The Witch's Road song, I was listening to
Yeah.
that at work, just in my headphones, just, like, on repeat. It was really good. I love that it was and, like, this like, how great the story is, though, is, like, it's a story that her son wrote. Like, her
Yeah.
son and, like, she didn't even start using it until after her son died because and her son alright, so rewind. Spoiler alert, Agatha had a relationship with death.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. Death. Oh, I forgot
and
about her.
um, Aubrey Plaza. Hell yes. That's why Thanos
Oh.
That's why Thanos killed half the universe because he wanted to get with April Plaza.
The
Um,
way they did her in this show was so freaking cool. Like, when you see her standing there at the end and she looks like the tarot card where the 2 knives are out and then half her
yeah,
face is a skull. And that's
yeah. Um,
exactly what it should look like.
so Agatha had a relationship. Agatha was always a witch killer because like even when she was pregnant, she'd go into like these protective circles and they'd be like, we let you in. We helped you. And she's like, well, sucks to suck. And she like kills them and takes their powers. And that's why Death loves Agatha because Agatha is just like killing all these people and has no remorse and stuff. Just doesn't care
But
about death. And
do you like, I was thinking about that. Do you think part of that is just the fact that Death likes her? That's why everybody around her is dying and she's got this power and it like
I no,
I got that
I
weird
think
feeling
the
where it's
I
just
thought
like,
I think Death likes her because of how little she cares about death. And
okay,
like and
and
or something
how
like that.
fast she'll kill people around her.
Yeah, like it's like how nonchalant she is, and how she is like prolonging her own life, and like so like not only does she not care about death, but she's also keeping herself away from death. So death is like, oh my gosh, this person that I cannot have, I want so bad. So like
Yeah.
that, I think that's how the relationship is, kind of thing, where death just craves something that because like in the comic books Death loves Deadpool because she can never have him, kind of thing.
Mm.
So I
And
think that
Agatha would be kinda the same in this portrayal. I see.
yeah. So that's what I think it is. So Agatha is pregnant. She's gonna have a kid. Turns out the kid like dies. I think during the childbirth. And Death's like, I'm here to collect. I'm sorry. And she's like, just give me time. Please give me time. And so I think she's like, all right, I'll give you time, but it won't be forever or whatever. And Agatha keeps killing people. And then the one night she doesn't, where her son is like, can we just not do this? He gets taken
Uh,
away. And because she did not, because that like, or however long that is, like however long she has to keep killing people, she didn't do it that time. She didn't offer up something to death, and death came to
I'll
collect.
have to go rewatch that. I didn't catch that part. Oh god. Yeah, I think the way that they did that was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Death being the original Green Witch, the way that her powers worked, how creepy she was just being around and just like I said, from that point on, it's this show is filled with all these wonderful surprises, and it comes off really corny at the beginning, so
Yeah.
anybody worried about it, like, don't stop for the love of God, like, if you at least get past that first hump, it comes off, like, kinda corny, and it it's really weird at first, but it gets so good by the end, and,
Um.
totally
Another
recommend it.
another thing too um is how they keep jumping back to past scenes, but they
Yeah,
offer a new perspective. So it's a flashback, but it's not boring because it's something new. You learn something new, you see something different, or you're like, oh my gosh, that's what she meant when she said that,
yep.
or like, oh, she did know that she was pressing the button, kind of thing. Um, oh, so good. It's the show's so layered, and I love it.
Yeah, and it was cool to see all the different witches and kinda go through their whole trial and the whole part with Death where she's with the rocker witch, the rebel. She's like, "Yeah,
That
you're a
that is
protection witch.
that
You
is my
protected
one
them."
that is my one issue with this show is this girl, and she's like, well, I can't remember her name. I'm terrible with names. I can't remember any of their names, except for Agatha. Um, uh, this one girl, her family's cursed. Her mom finds a way to kind of get around the curse. It's like she takes the song down down or the witch's road, turns it into a protection charm. So every time that someone in the world plays that song, it protects her daughter.
Yeah.
And it's a super famous song, so everyone's at least playing it every now and then. Somewhere around the world, someone's playing it. Um, but then she finally breaks the curse, I think. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know because this is all made up kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's all fabricated.
And she finally breaks the curse, and next episode she's dead. And I was like, and she was upset too. Like rightfully so. She's like, I finally break the curse and then I die. Like she didn't get to have a kid who was curse free. She didn't get to live the rest of her life out curse free. It just ends with her. And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
well,
but
you protected someone, like
and
consolation prize."
that that scene though, I felt like 'cause there's usually not much in these Marvel movies anymore where it's like, "Wow, that was really deep."
Yeah,
But she's just standing there with Death, looking over her own body, and Death's like, yeah, nobody ever thinks I have enough time. That's it, you're done. You can come with me now." And she's just standing there looking at her body, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, that's super depressing. It's like, yeah, I guess you don't really know. You're done. Time's up. Ooh, great show. Awesome.
great show. Should we talk about the ending quick, or do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
All
Let's
right,
go
so
ahead. What about the ending in particular?
so Agatha, so Wiccan comes back because they get to they get out of the road and they find out like he finds out that he made the road. He's like
Yeah.
he confronts Agatha, and he's like, the road's not real. She goes, of course it's not real. It never was real. It was just a stupid lie I told to get power. And I was desperate and I just went along with it. And then death comes to collect Agatha. And and then he comes and he's like gonna leave and like he's Agatha is evil. She kills people
Yeah.
indiscriminately, but she's like she connects with the kid because it reminds of her son, and she's like trying to get him out of here. And it's like go, just go. And then he gives her power, and like she finally has what she wants. And then she still's like,
She turns him over to Death. She's like, "Yeah, fine, have him." And it's only after he, like, pleads with her that
yeah,
she comes back, and it's like, "Ah, God, I don't know how I feel about you. You almost let him go."
yeah. And she's just like she's a bad person, but it's just like the thought of losing another kid, another son to death.
Yeah.
And like she's like, but like she's like, yeah, and then she's dead. She turns instantly into like bone and then mushrooms or whatever, like a little like flower garden. And then she comes back as a ghost. That was a little
Yeah.
silly. I think they could have just ended it on her death
Yeah,
or
I
something.
mean, that is a cool thing for that Wiccan character, if you're thinking about it, one day we're gonna see him maybe in a movie or something. So he's gonna be a male witch, a warlock
Yeah.
who has the assistance of a ghost.
It
That's
would
pretty unique.
I really hope that if they do that though, that when it's from his perspective, you can see Agatha and he's talking to
Yeah,
her. From the outside perspective, like if he's talking to Bishop and then all of a sudden he turns and starts talking to Agatha,
yeah,
Bishop can't see any of that. I hope
yeah,
they do
yeah.
that. That
Oh,
only
yeah,
he
for
can
sure.
see the ghost.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, just not like Ghostbusters where it's like, "Oh, yeah, that's a ghost.
Yeah,
Everybody could see that,
yeah.
blue
Everyone can
neon
see this
flaming ghost."
yeah. Yeah, no, I
But,
really hope and it'd be a great tool for him to have is like, hey, Agatha, we need to know what's on the other side of that wall. Can you poke your head through and then relay the information? And then Agatha can do it. But also, Agatha is kind of an asshole, so she can also be like lying. It's like, oh yeah, there's like two
yeah,
security
where
guards,
she's
and they
like,
go,
"No, I'm not doing that,"
yeah,
"Fuck your plot. You go figure it out yourself. You're not
right.
gonna call on me to just to look through a wall."
But she could like, yeah, sure, I'll go look. She goes look, comes back. It's like, yeah, there's just two armed security guards. No big deal. They bust through. All of a sudden, there's like 30 guys in there. Like, huh, I guess I can't count good or
Yeah.
something. Like they could like do a lot of fun
"What
with
are you
that.
gonna do, kill me?"
Yeah.
It
So
just writes itself. But, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring you here. I wanted to talk about Agatha All Along. Just like everything else, we were tremendously late to it, but we got it done. That was our discussion on Agatha All Along. I totally recommend it. Do you have anything else you want to say to the fans before we go?
Check it out. Give it a chance.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, I will see you later. Maybe we will do a Ghostbusters Frozen Empire review discussion here
I
shortly.
saw it. I've seen it.
I'm watching it now. It's not bad.
That's all right.
I have like the Frost thing is just about to be released, so we got like half the movie to go. Goodbye.